Okay, seriously, what the hell is with this stupid Trump baby blow up doll? It's dumb. Like, this is actually being shared on social media like it's funny. No, this is not funny. No. Hey everybody, it's Prince of Queens. And largely this is just my preview video for the Gaytriarchy tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will leave a link in the description. Our guest tonight is confirmed, Benjamin Boyce. Yes, you will be hearing from Benjamin Boyce on the Gaytriarchy, and we will be talking to him about stuff. He's not really sure what we're going to talk about, and maybe we're not really sure, but I have some ideas. But you gotta tune in to find out what. Okay, so this Donald Trump blow-up doll has been becoming sort of viral in the left. There's lots of memes that I'm seeing on Facebook of photos of this baby doll, and it's like Trump blown up, and I guess it's at the Pride parade in London. And I even saw somebody who's not a Muslim or anything, saying, "I'm so living for the fact that the Muslim mayor of London approved of the Trump blow-up doll." And it's like, it's beyond juvenile, because I don't, like, whoever got the impression that Trump was actually going to get offended? I mean, I think that what they're trying to do is they're trying to do the cry bully tactic, where they're trying to instigate a response from him, and then they get to say, "Oh, see, it proved that he's a baby, that he's a crybaby." Like, they want just one tweet. Like, they're hoping if they can get one tweet from President Trump about this little blow-up doll thing that they came up with, then mission accomplished. It was a self-fulfilling prophecy. They, made an entire float thing just to mock our president for no apparent reason, preemptively calling him a crybaby, and then they get to say that he's a crybaby, even though I don't view him as a crybaby. Like, I don't think that that's a good way of viewing him. I think that he's... no, I don't think that that's a good way. I just don't think that in the universe that we exist in, calling the guy that's been subjected to the most hatred in maybe human history because of the fact that we have social media, and so the hatred can be memed, and it has been so relentlessly for, about 3 years now. Over 3 years, people have been memeing their hatred towards Trump. Mainstream media, social media, everybody. To turn around and try to call him a crybaby when he's actually persisting, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just find this as yet another case that the left isn't funny. The left can't meme. They don't know how to come up with clever things at all. And when somebody does attempt to come up with something clever, they are extraordinarily self-congratulatory about it, and they pretend that it's funny, even though nobody really thinks it's funny, even them. They just sort of pretend to. It kind of reminds me of this article that I think was published on BuzzFeed, and it was like the top 10 or top 40 times that feminists were the funniest people ever. And it shows all these little tweets and comments where feminists were allegedly funny, but of course they weren't really actually that funny. And honestly, if you have to compile a list of the times in which somebody was funny to prove some sort of point, you probably already lost. Now, I'm not saying that there haven't been great lists of funny things, because there have been. Like, I used to love the lists that they had on VH1 last decade. They would have these lists of the funniest things that happened on reality television shows and things like that, and it would be funny. But they weren't trying to make some sort of political point. They were just showing them. Well, when a demographic of ideologues has a reputation for not being funny, and then you have to try to, like, come up with examples to prove it, and of course the examples are not really going to be all that funny anyway, it's just embarrassing at that point. And that's what I'm seeing with this Trump float thing. And it's also further proof that the left has just become so relentlessly political with everything that they do. Like, I think that this is supposed to be for some sort of gay pride thing that they have going on in London. But the fact of the matter is that gay pride has nothing to do with homosexuality anymore at all whatsoever. It has to do with the Q-tips, it has to do with the non-binaries, it has to do with the feminists. If you notice, if you pay close attention to leftist media, they almost exclusively, when they start talking about marginalized groups, they usually make it a point to leave out gay white men. Like, they are doing it on purpose. If they aren't doing that, they're very likely demonizing gay white men. Occasionally, you do still hear people talking about LGBT, blah, 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 but there's very often points in which they are making it a point to demonize gay white men. And they also do it to lesbians, apparently, to a certain degree. At least the TERFs are actually reacting to that. You know, it's unfortunate that the TERFs have to do with this horrible thing that's the organization of feminism, and they are trying to preserve their own cash flow, that they can't find common ground with gay males who are also being systematically targeted by the intersectionals. That is an unfortunate thing, because the intersectionals have completely taken over LGBTQIA, blah, 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 and they've turned it into their political agenda. Like, this isn't the first time that this type of thing has happened. It also happened in, what's it called? LA. They did this in LA, too. They turned the entire LA parade into an anti-Trump march. Like, that's absurd. That's absolutely absurd. And that had to have kind of been the spark of red pilling a lot of people, so maybe I shouldn't complain about it, but it's really absurd. And now they're pretending that maybe this was just some sort of random funny thing that they did. It was just funny. No, it was a really, really pathetic ambush from the culture warriors, and they used the gay community as their vessel to deliver some sort of, I don't know, Trojan horse attack designed to attack Trump and psychologically torment him so that maybe they could elicit some sort of reaction from him, and then they could call him a crybaby, and then they could continue to try to cry bully him. And I mean, it's just so evident. And that's why I say that the left is the real racists. Okay, watch the Gaytriarchy tonight, and Benjamin Boyce is going to be there. I hope I just did a good kind of a Benjamin Boyce ramble right there. He's sort of better at it than I am, the rambly thing. But I don't script videos on Fridays when I do these things. Okay, I gotta go eat my food. It's getting cold. Bye.